Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Laura Klein, and I'm with Rodan and Fields. And I have another very special guest with me today. Her name is Penny Vittoria. Penny is a successful aging coach at Acacia Creek Senior Living Community in Union City. She is a women's study graduate of Mills College and is certified as a life coach by Coach Training Alliance. Her nearly 30 years of experience working in senior living and adult education, as well as her own successful aging journey, provide her with the tools to support individuals in living their best life. Using the science of successful aging and practical strategies, she supports residents and team members in expanding their potential and optimize the possibilities in their life journey in order to expand their well-being. Thanks so much for being here today, Penny.
Thanks for having me, Laura.
I had never really heard about what a successful coach, what that was, what that meant. And, I do Rodan and Fields, and I'm all about keeping, your skin looking younger and feeling good and confident in your own skin. But I love that you do this, it's like from the inside out. Can you, where does the term successful aging come from, and what is the science behind it?
Okay, well, successful aging actually came from a 10-year study the MacArthur Foundation did to find out why some people with each decade of their lives continue to thrive and kept an open mind and had purpose and meaning in their life, while other people with each decade, the world became smaller and they went on this downward decline. So they did a study and found that actually 70% of how we age is determined by our lifestyle choices. And some studies since then have showed it's even higher, up to 80%. So that's where the term successful aging comes from.
Well, I'm sure that there are, everyone's kind of different, and especially right now, I think the stress in people's lives can actually, I feel like, make you age even faster. But when does your successful aging journey start?
Well, it's actually throughout our lives, and it's really about establishing good practices. And we get our last brain development at 25. So at 25, that establishes our beliefs, our habits, and just how we operate. So we can change those patterns, but it takes a lot of effort. So really our successful aging begins as we grow up, and it's establishing those habits because we hit our peak performance in our 20s, and about 30, we can start losing 1% of our muscle mass each year unless we do something about it. So many people start on this slow downward decline for the last third of their life. But people that are practicing, having good lifestyle choices, having a good attitude where they feel empowered to make those choices, and they could keep a nice, level, steady, be on the upper edge of that successful aging curve. And we say it's living long, dying short. So when they do start slowing down and toward the end of their life, it's a much gradualer decline. We say that's living long, dying short. So it really is about establishing these practices, and it starts with how we think, because our thoughts create our beliefs, and it trickles on down to those beliefs establishing our choices and our lifestyle.
Yeah, it is amazing how much mindset really determines our happiness, our life choices. It's such an interesting thing to learn more about yourself and your mindset. So what are some of the practices that you teach your clients on how to, live longer and healthier and have that gradual continuation?
Well, we talk about 4 components of wellness, and that's physical, intellectual, social, and spiritual. So those are the areas you really want to have balance in. And because we're all different, it's determining what that balance is for you. So when we're talking about physical, yes, that's definitely exercising, having a balanced diet, maintaining a healthy weight for you, getting enough sleep. Experts say 8 hours is the optimal amount for adults. And it's making sure that you're seeing your doctor regularly, so you're not ignoring those things that might creep up. And with intellectual, it is doing new things, challenging ourselves. And when we struggle, when we're trying to learn something, that's when we're struggling. And then that aha is when we get the connection in our brain. So doing all that intellectually helps. And that could be anything from learning new games, new computer programs, learning a new language, or a musical instrument. As we get older, those things really help with our pathways in our brain. And then with spiritual, it's much more than religion. It is having meaning and purpose in our lives and really being able to bring ourselves to a peaceful place. So there's a lot with the spirituality, and it could be being involved in creative pursuits or meditation, prayer, whatever brings you peace and calms you down. And with social, it's of course having good, strong social connections. And studies show that it's really important for us to have at least 5 people in our inner circle. So those 5 people that we know have our back and we can depend on. And the study shows not having those 5 people is almost like smoking 14 cigarettes a day.
Wow.
Yes. So it's really important to be able to give and receive that social support. So it's all about having fun in those connections, but are they meaningful? Do we feel like we're valued and of value to other people?
You know, people talk so much about eating healthy and sleeping and all of that, but this is really living a full life. It just sounds like mind, body, and spirit is sort of what what your goal is in order to live a fulfilling life. And like you said, learning a new language, which I think as an adult is so much harder than when you're a child.
Yes, it is.
But trying it at least will keep your brain going, which is nice.
Exactly. Exactly. And we always talk about getting out of our comfort zone because that is where the learning happens. And with learning and growing and changing, it's creating new pathways in our brains. And we used to think years ago that once you had your pathways established, that was it. Now we know that up until the day you die, you can be creating new pathways in your brain. And studies have showed this. And there's been many studies showing that people that had Alzheimer's, the tangles and plaques upon autopsy, did not show the symptoms of Alzheimer's when they were alive because they had so much connectivity in their brain. Their brains kind of just rewired away from the areas that were damaged by Alzheimer's. So we're learning more with science each year. Epigenetics has showed us that we can actually change our genes and our DNA. So even if we have the genes for different diseases, if we're establishing good lifestyle patterns, those things I was talking about, we can override those genes and they actually rewire. So it's amazing what our bodies can do.
I always say that I'm so fascinated by our bodies, of what a well-oiled machine we are and how quickly our bodies can go crazy given COVID. Look at what we're going through right now, and how our bodies respond. But it is amazing how we can also recover, and the fact that you can do different pathways with those lifestyle changes, that is amazing. And I remember my grandmother, she always did New York Times crossword puzzles, and she literally did it to the day she died. It was just always, I think that that's what kept her brain always going and keeping her sharp as a tack, even though, you know, she was getting older. It was amazing.
Indeed. And the old saying, use it or lose it, that's very true. And it's really important for people to feel empowered at every age and to know that we can do whatever it is we want if we really set that as a goal and go after it. And having resilience, that's really important, because a lot of people, something happens, whether it's an injury, illness, death of a loved one, and it slows them down. But people that have made those good lifestyle choices, they have a good attitude, they can bounce back and live their best life.
Well, I think we're all trying to live a longer, healthier life. And so getting to talk to you and to find out what some of the tips are, it seems like common sense when you talk about it. But I don't think we focus on it as much about the mind, body, and spirit, that you kind of need all of those things in order to live a fulfilling, long life. So thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. And all of you who have been listening to this, please like, comment, and share. And I will be posting in the comments how you can get in touch with Penny if you want to learn more about aging gracefully. All right, Penny, thank you so much for joining us today, and I will talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.